Hi there, it's Chris from Chatting. Just wanted to give you a bit of an update around Discord v2. So, some of you may know we had a integration with Discord. It was fairly limited. It was just a / command based bot. So we've recently given it a bit of an upgrade. So let's probably better to just show you, I think, rather than try and explain it. So here's a bot that I often test with. He's quite funny. He's very rude, so I don't recommend you use his prompt in anything customer facing, but for a test bot, he's very funny. So channels, usual place. This hasn't changed at all. Switch it on. You notice at the top we've got a new thing for transport. So previously, the legacy version just accepted / command, so you could do / your bot name and then a message, and it would respond to it. So a little limited. Now what we've got, in addition to / commands, is mentioned and DMs, and also some thread support, and I'll show you how that works as well. So / commands, exactly the same. Mentions, so it's a bit more natural to use mentions, like you would mention anyone else in the Discord server. You can now mention your bot and send them direct messages, and they will respond to that. You can also, and I'll go through this later, there's also a power up to allow the bot to go and find context from other channels. So you can do some cool things with that. So you can ask it to kind of summarize the contents of some other channels, get it to sort of dig into detail in other channels and combine them, and then answer questions based on them. So let's go through the setup. So this is all pretty much the same. Some helpful links here. So I'll just click that. It takes the developer portal. Here I've got my bot already. I copy the application ID, come back to Chatting, and paste that in, and that unlocks a few other things. Again, nice helpful pointers to take you to the right place for each bit. So this is the secret. I'm going to need my authenticator. 2 seconds. There we go. Cool. We get the option to copy it. Back to Chatting, paste it in there, and then public key. That's this one. Pop that one in, and then finally bot token. Again, this is another one where you'll probably need 2FA if you haven't done it recently. There we go. Copy that last bit. Cool. And then we'll give it a different / command. Change the defaults here. Cool. Okay, so ambient context is what we've coined as a term for the bot gaining access to extra information. So obviously if it's a really busy channel, you don't necessarily want to fill up the context with hundreds of messages. So this gives you like a little slider that you can use to include up to 20 messages of recent content. So for example, if there's a really busy channel and you mention your bot, it will get the last 10 messages after it was mentioned to help it answer. So you can say, have a conversation with another person in the server and then say, Chatting bot, what do you think? And then it will be able to consolidate those messages into its response. Cool. So this is the next new change. So there's a slightly different interaction endpoint URL. So if you change from V1 to V2, you will need to update this. Also, there's an extra setting that we need to enable to give it the capability to respond to mentions and access content in the channels. So we'll just copy that. Again, another little helpful link here. Let's just use that. That's one thing. Sorry, we do need to make sure we save it first. So we've got to save all that information here because this is used to kind of verify with Discord. If we didn't do that, you'd get an error at this point. So let's update that. Save changes. So that's the error I was trying to ignore. And what's happened here? I need to wait a little bit. I'm not sure if there is a little delay there. Yes. Okay, so that's all saved now. Okay, cool. So now we should be able to talk to our bot. Actually, really messing up now. So let's add it to our server. It's all been saved. One more thing to do. You will need to update this auth redirect. Now mine's probably already in place because I've done this before. But yeah, it just goes in here. Auth2, paste it in there, save it. Okay, let's close all of these. Don't need those anymore. Actually, let's just show you the message intents area. That's just at the bottom here. Yeah, so you see I've already ticked it. You will get an error in chat thing if you try and save it without this ticked. But yeah, if you notice that, that's what you've got to come and click on. Let's close that. Okay, now we should be able to use this add to Discord button. So I'm going to add it to a little test server that I've made, give it all the permissions. Doesn't strictly need attached files, but there's no harm in giving that. Perhaps in a later update, we'll give it the opportunity to be able to create CSVs or something and put those in Discord. But for now, it's mainly the creating threads, sending messages, etc. We need. Cool. So that's been added to our server. So we should see a little message in here. There he is. He's up there. He's already been added to this server before, so it's not done the usual message saying he's joined. So what we can do is we can go, hello. Are you there? Obviously, it's going to be very rude. Here's an earlier message. Yeah, lovely. Okay, so that's proof that he's working. So let's go back to here. Now, what we can do is things like this. Angry man. So I've got quite a few angry men on different servers just to test out. He is my go-to testing bot. What do you think about this? Typo there, it doesn't really matter. I'm sure you understand what I mean. So you see that when I've sent that, he's probably got all of this content up to probably around here. So here we go. So I mean, probably not the best example, but I'm pretty sure he's just seen this and just insulted me. And maybe let's try this one. This is probably a better one. So I've just put a few stats in here. Let's do angry man. Can you summarize this? So he should go away. Go through all these. And there we go. We can see these, being able to pick these up. Yeah, we can also reply on particular messages. Maybe do something like this. Let's reply. Okay, I should have made a thread based on that. Cool. So that's a lot of the functionality, but we've also added a new power-up, which gives it a little bit more capabilities. It's worth exploring. Let's do that quickly. So back to the main bot interface, over to power-ups. I've already added it. Let's just delete it and add it again so you can see the whole process. So choose power-up, Discord, channel history. Correct this. So you shouldn't need to change any of this. You can optionally pick a particular channel, in which case it won't be able to be used to load history from other channels. I'm just going to leave that open so it can do any of the channels that I've got on my test server. And this is all kind of basic. I mean, if you find that the bot's not calling it when it should, you can play around with these, but generally these work fine. So we'll save that. So what this should allow us to do is do things like this. So I can be in like testing. Let's just delete that one. Do some testing. So we should be able to, so we're in the testing channel here. I should be able to do something like angry man, can you summarize what's happened in summarize this? Interesting sentence there, but hopefully you get the idea. So again, it's spun up a thread. Cool. And there we go. We can see that it's been able to load this channel, find all of these messages, and then summarize them. Yeah, that concludes our demo today. Yeah, anything you think you'd like to see in our Discord V2 bot, please get in touch. Otherwise, yeah, happy botting.